How the devil are you guys? Welcome to No Man's Sky, Leaks and Greeks. Yeah, this is episode 2 and I'm going to be focusing on space as the final frontier. I had to do it, I know. However, this is like episode 1, it's sort of contradictions and confirmations type video. I'm not going to be going into the spoilers too much. I prefer not to mention them. I'm really going to be going over things that the leakers and the developers have sort of confirmed or contradicted each other on, and therefore hopefully not revealing too much new information but giving you enough indication to make your mind up on what you've heard. Yeah. So, with that in mind, some of the leakers have said, and this corresponds with what Hello Games have told us, the space transitions are super smooth. The entering and exiting the ship, the entering warp and jump drive, flying down to a planet landing, it's all super smooth. It runs pretty smooth and nice, and you don't really have to worry about it looking buggy or choppy or anything like that, or too much pop-up. In fact, the only hit signs I've heard of potential pop-up is flying as fast as you can, as close to the surface as a planet as you can in the atmosphere. To be expected, you're generating a lot of terrain. However, space flight speeds adjust the feel in realistic ways. So, I've heard this a few times now. If you jump in your ship, fly up into the orbit of the planet, so to speak. Not that you can get into orbit, they didn't put that in, but you get out into space above the atmosphere, and you decide to go to the next planet. It may take you quite a while, a day or two, or several hours, to fly to the next planet at suborbital speeds. Hit jump speed and jump jet speed, or whatever it's called, and jump drive, sorry, there we go, jump drive speed, and you get there in mere seconds or minutes. And apparently it does feel quite realistic. You do feel like you're travelling and traversing great speed and distance. Can't really traverse speed, but you know what I meant. Now, one of the players has encountered lots of crashes on the warp jumps, so they say save as much as possible. Other players have encountered none of that so far. It may just be an unfortunate occurrence for that one player. Another one of the players has found none of the ship upgrades. Possible bug maybe. However, they're saying they're only seeing 1/4 the size of the upgrades available that they're getting for their suit and their multi-tool, so they're not sure. Now, some players have been noticing a remarkable increase in the weirdness factor the closer they get to the centre. The other player, especially the one who says they've already reached the centre, said they didn't notice a massive increase in weirdness. They did notice an increase in weapon crates, but not in the weirdness factor. Now, the race to the centre for this person took approximately 30 to 40 hours, roughly, I believe. And they say they did somewhat a bit of exploration in between, but they mostly stuck to speedrunning. But it could be sped. You can speedrun it quicker than that, apparently. Especially if you use what they consider to be an exploit in the, shall we say, the economy. However, that being said, there's a few things they haven't done, like swam to the bottom of an ocean or tried to destroy a space station. Now, I believe they did eventually get around to trying to destroy a space station, and that gave them a lot of fun with an awful lot of red dots trying to fight back and protect that space station. Same with a cargo ship. So yeah, a lot of the whole go up into space and decide to start shooting your lasers off, or your bullets, or whatever you've got equipped, and you may end up with an awful lot of people trying to kill you. Now that corresponds to what the developers have said as well, so that's nice to know. Travelling between systems with the jump drive and the warp drive is possible, but and it may give you the chance to encounter rogue planets. Now, I have heard an interview where I believe it was Sean from Hello Games said you can do that, but make sure you've got your aim perfect, because the universe will procedurally generate around you, and if you're off by a degree, you could miss that planet by miles, thousands or hundreds of thousands of miles, when you've actually figured out where you're going and the game's generated it around you. So yeah, of course there's also the point of you may run out of fuel doing it that way, and that's where the rogue planets I mentioned in the planets one comes in. There's maybe some rogue planets and some asteroid belts in between solar systems where you can go and refuel, so to speak. However, you'll be doing that if you run out of warp drive and jump drive fuel with the basic speed, and it may take you a day or two in real time to get there. The nearest asteroid field. You may be 6 hours away from it in real time. Who knows? AFK time, I suppose. Now, the galaxy everyone appears to be playing through and trying to reach the centre of is the Euclid galaxy, as it appears on the galactic map. Now, Hello Games have previously said they will take hundreds of hours, thus the speculation about the importance of these other galaxies has now increased. So, Euclid was a mathematician, and the game's procedurally generated via maths, so nice little play on words, nice little, okay, Euclid, mathematician, Euclid galaxy, and that little point there will come into why I've named this series Leaks and Greeks, but that will be in episode 3. Now, the player who's reached the centre, I believe, is Damien or something. It's Damien anyway, but spelt the way you spell things when you're trying to come up with a name that hasn't already been taken. Yeah, approximates he's probably visited about 50 planets out of 18 quintillion, so his issues of finding life on a lot of the planets and things that he thinks contradicts what the developers have said may be down to his such a small sample size, because it's probably 0.000 or something daft. However, that does lead to the question, if he's making a beeline for the centre. Now these last few points are more speculation on my part. If you're making a beeline for the centre, could you possibly be on, say, one of the alien species, shall we say, galactic highways or motorways or whatever you want to call them? And those planets along that sort of route have been terraformed so that they hold minor amounts of life, so that they could have bases on them and so on and so forth. Possibilities. This is just me wishful thinking, of course. And some of the species that you see on multiple planets, could you consider those, say, different varieties of a species, say like species of dogs, for example? So, not that the dogs, you'll get the metaphor I'm trying to make. You may see the same space weasel on dozens of planets and dozens of solar systems along this route you've taken. However, it might be the same as saying a space Labrador and a space German Shepherd. It's the same species, but little variations. And space aliens that live in space, so you don't have to worry about finding a planet that can support life. Maybe that's why you're finding some of these animals on planets. Who knows? So, yeah. So, where are we up to? Oh yeah, and my last idea is the concept of, if you are following a shall we say galactic highway and only visiting a few terraformed planets on the highway straight to the centre, this could be an unfortunate side effect of rushing to the centre along a terraformed route. You don't really see as much of the exploration side of the game as you should. Who knows? However, that is episode 2, space exploration, and I'll be back for everything else, episode 3, which will be consisting of upgrades and the like, and a few theories and spoilers. So, if you want to come see that, by all means, join me there. Until then, this is Robbie Don. Robbie gone.